Stephen Ryan. Tastes a little off. Hey,
Don't
hold on.
insult my pies.
The pie is fine. Here, let me get that for you. All right, there we go. As I was saying, oh, hold on one second. Here you go. Here you go. Oh, it looks so cute.
You think that's funny?
No, that's not funny. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to run for your lives.
Oh, dear.
I hope everybody enjoys the parade. We better clean this up. Hey, you're right. This is pretty good.
Thank you, Stephen Ryan, and welcome everyone to the 6th Annual Big Top Parade and Circus Celebration. Mike Enger coming to you live from beautiful downtown Baraboo. Carrie Olson, I'm privileged to be joined by you again this year. Are you ready for the big day?
I sure am. The weather's perfect. It's a perfect day for a Big Top Parade in downtown Baraboo.
It will be. Let's get ready to shake, rattle, and roll for the 6th Annual Big Top Parade and Circus Celebration here in Baraboo.
Live from Baraboo, Wisconsin, this is coverage of the Baraboo Area Chamber of Commerce 6th Annual Big Top Parade and Circus Celebration. Today's parade broadcast is available across a number of platforms, including TV 43, Cable Channel 10, and streamed on our Facebook page, 99.7 Max FM. You can also hear the parade coverage on 99.7 FM, 740 AM, and at 997maxfm.com. We'll go to our broadcast center in front of the Baraboo State Bank on the square in downtown Baraboo in just a moment. First, here's our stupendous lineup of broadcast sponsors. Today's lead sponsor is the Baraboo State Bank. For over 160 years, Baraboo State Bank has been providing financial services with a hometown touch to local families and businesses. Member FDIC. Our broadcast is also graciously supported by Baraboo Pizza Ranch, Johnson Insurance, Bank of Wisconsin Dells, McGann Furniture, Poynton Heating and Air Conditioning, The Granary, MBE CPAs, Domino's of Baraboo, SSM Health, Baraboo Motors, and WCCU Credit Union. Now, let's go live to our Big Top Parade hosts, Mike Ganger and Carrie Olson.
Carrie, it's not just a beautiful Baraboo, but a beautiful day it turned out to be.
You know, it did. We were expecting that there might be a rain shower or two, but you know, on a day like this, the sun has to shine, and there is so much to be happy about here today in downtown Baraboo. The crowds are huge, a lot of activity going on, and soon it'll be the Big Top Parade.
So many smiling faces and so many people excited for it's going to be an awesome day today. We've got a great pre-parade show. So many wonderful guests joining us. Let's learn a little bit about them. Tell us about who's going to be with us.
Well, we're going to be talking with Bobby Betcher and Nancy Pavlish. They'll be talking about the Big Top Parade. We're going to be talking with Mariah Haberman. She's the host of Discover Wisconsin and one of the judges for today's parade. And of course, we're going to be hearing some music from Jaco McCluskey, which is going to be really fun, and a few recorded interviews with our Grand Marshals, the Elusive Sounds, and with David Salutis, the singing ringmaster at Circus World.
It's going to be a great time. There's so many ways that you can be joining us here today. Of course, 99.7 Max FM. You can listen live. If you are listening now and you want to watch it, you can head over to our Facebook page, 99.7 Max FM on Facebook. Watch live there, also YouTube, and of course, Channel 10 TV 43 right here in Baraboo. You mentioned Jaco McCluskey. We heard some sounds in the background. He's actually going to be acting as our house band this year. So as we head to break and things like that during this pre-parade show, we're going to get to listen to the wonderful sounds of Jaco McCluskey.
You better get up out of bed. If you don't, boy, leave you here instead. 'Cause I'm ready, yeah. I've been waiting this whole damn long time. Ain't gonna let you waste your more time. You better get up, get out of bed, yeah. If you don't, boy, I'll leave you here instead. 'Cause I'm ready. I've been waiting, this is the whole thing on time. Ain't gonna let you waste any more time. Let's go. Whoa, whoa. Come, let's go. Whoa, whoa. Come, let's go, yeah. get your act together now. If you don't, boy, I ain't gonna lay this town, but I'm ready. I'm ready. I've been waiting this is a whole dang long time. Yeah, I ain't gonna let you waste anymore, my more time. Whoa, whoa, come let's go. Whoa, whoa, come let's go. And I ain't gonna let you waste anymore, my. And I ain't gonna let you waste anymore, my. 'Cause I ain't gonna let you waste anymore, my.
It's the wonderful Jaco McCluskey. Thank you so much, Jaco. He's going to be joining us throughout this entire pre-parade show. And there's so much work that goes on behind the scenes to make a parade like this happen. We talk about it each year, and now we're very privileged to be joined by two of the people that were really behind the scenes and really the backbone on making this happen. So Bobby Betcher and Nancy Cafflish, please come on in here and join us.
Come on
Give them a round of
in.
applause, please.
Come on in. So Bobby is the executive director of the Baraboo Area Chamber of Commerce, and Nancy Cafflish is not only the president of the board, but she's also co-chair of the Big Top Parade Committee. So you have so much going on. Thank you for taking a few moments with us. This year's parade theme is Shake, Rattle, and Roll. Tell us how you arrived at that theme.
Okay, well, this Circus World is celebrating their 60th anniversary of opening. They opened in the late 50s, so they themed their Big Top performance, Big Top to. So we thought we would follow their lead and come up with a 50s theme for our parade. So that's how we came up with Shake, Rattle, and Roll. We have a 50s band, Elusive Sounds, as our grand marshal.
Excellent, thanks so much. So what can spectators expect to see today? Might one thing be Bucky Badger? It's just a weird thing. I just had this kind of vision that maybe Bucky Badger is going to be in the parade. Is anything else going to be in the parade other than Bucky Badger?
Absolutely, you are going to see something for everybody. And as you guys will maybe catch me behind here, we have a boatload of things happening on the courthouse square. Right behind us is Eat Street. We will have a sock hop immediately after the parade is over today. So please, if you haven't come out, come on down already. We're going to have things to do. The weather turned out awesome. We will have Echoes at Camp Randall here in just a few minutes doing a little fifth quarter action. I think Bucky kind of crashed the party a little too soon, but you know, what are you going to do? So just a lot of great things, and that's in addition to our 93 units in the parade this year, which is fantastic. You'll get to see the gorgeous girls elephants from Circus World that'll be here. You'll be able to see a kangaroo, snakes, and the giraffe is coming back. He almost got too big for the rig, but he has made it the cut this year, so we can't be more excited about all the fun things that are going on.
And with so many units, you mentioned the 93 different units are going to be part of this parade. Planning for this thing has to be going on almost year-round. Talk about what that process is like.
It does. This is the 6th annual parade, and when it ended last year, we took a month off and began planning in August, and that planning includes fundraising. We have so many generous sponsors. I want to thank Baraboo State Bank for being our presenting sponsor. Without that, all of our generous sponsors, we wouldn't have it. So we fundraise, we contract entries, bands, logistics down to porta potties and dumpsters. It's all very exciting.
Very, very sexy stuff.
So, because this is such a huge event, and last year I heard there were some 30,000 people who came to see the Big Top Parade in person, how does the Big Top Parade affect this community's tourism?
Oh my goodness. I mean, this is the Chamber's biggest event that promotes tourism in our area. We do months worth of work to get the word out about the event. So when a visitor comes to our area, they're not just coming to see the parade. They may have to get gas. They may have to eat lunch. We hope they eat lunch. We hope maybe they're coming in. And we do know that in our 6th year that we're getting some groups that are coming and picking to have conferences here in town that are kind of surrounded. We have the Circus Historical Society here this year. So if anybody's here from them, hey-o, way to go.
So, shout out.
Yeah. So it's we figure it's probably close to a $3 million impact from the group last year, through economic impact to the community.
That's fabulous. I know that you both have so much to do now in these remaining minutes before the Big Top Parade hits the streets. So thank you so much, Bobby, Nancy, for spending time with us today.
And thank you, Carrie, for everything you do, and for Max FM for being our broadcast sponsor.
Absolutely. Break a leg, you guys.
And you too.
Right.
Thanks.
Wonderful. Thank you so much. Applause for Bobby and Nancy. Thank you. Here we go. And now joining us, definitely decked out for the occasion. You certainly probably recognize her, Mariah Haberman. She is on Discover Wisconsin, that you can catch on TV 43 every Saturday at 4:30. Mariah, thank you so much for joining us.
Thanks for having me.
Yes, this is going to be a great day. We're really looking forward to it.
And you look beautiful. I think
you.
she outshines Mike and me right now. Beautiful.
It took a while to get ready, but we made it.
Oh, spectacular. That's wardrobe from Circus World,
Yes.
and it looks fabulous. So, Mariah, you travel the state for Discover Wisconsin. As you've been in Baraboo, what are your impressions of Baraboo? What stands out to you about this community?
You know, so much. My camera guy and I, on the way here, were talking about that, how this is just a city where when you're here, your eyes are wide open with wonder. There's so much going on, and the history here is amazing. I'm always surprised, by the little details. We were at the barber shop last week. We're going to be at the lavender farm on Monday. I just think I'm so impressed by what you guys have going on here. You're constantly working to add new things. You hold on to your traditions and your history, but you're constantly adding new things to keep people interested. I love it. I just love Baraboo.
Excellent.
And you travel around so many different communities. You see events like this all the time in different spots. How does this compare, and what do you think an event like this really does for the tourism in this area?
I've never seen an event like this.
Okay.
I'll tell you that much. I'm someone who you'd think I'd seen it all at this point. I've been doing the show for 5 years, but this is so unique. I've been to a lot of parades. I've never seen this many people dressed up. I love that everyone here is, in costume, and if they're not in costume, they're in costume in spirit, and that's special. You don't see that in a lot of towns, and I do think a lot of travelers are oftentimes looking for uniqueness in their activities and what they're doing in each town, and Baraboo has uniqueness in spades.
Wonderful.
So.
You have an interesting role today in that you get to be one of the celebrity judges for the event. What do you expect to experience as you're watching the entries, and what will you be watching for?
I have very high expectations. I'll tell you that much.
All right.
Based on what I've seen so far, I think people are going to go all out on the floats and the entries in general. So I'm looking for originality, and like I said earlier, uniqueness. I expect a spectacle. So I want to see lots of colors and people really getting into it and having the spirit of the Baraboo Parade here today. So I'm excited.
Thank you so much. And Mariah, thank you so much for joining us today. Mariah Haberman from Discover Wisconsin.
And we're going to step aside here for a second. When we come back, we're going to hear from the Grand Marshals of the Big Top Parade. That's on the way next here on 99.7 Max FM and TV 43.
Our sponsors making today's broadcast possible include our lead sponsor, Baraboo State Bank, and supported by Baraboo Pizza Ranch, Johnson Insurance, Bank of Wisconsin Dells, McGann Furniture, Poynton Heating and Air Conditioning, The Granary, MBE CPAs, Domino's of Baraboo, SSM Health, Baraboo Motors, and WCCU Credit Union. It's another great circus day in Baraboo.
And we're back here on the square downtown Baraboo, listening to some of the wonderful sounds of Jacob McCluskey as he's keeping the 50s theme alive. And speaking of the 50s and great music, our Grand Marshals this year are the Elusive Sounds. That is the band that's been performing since the 1950s, and our Carrie Olson was able to catch up with them prior to the parade.
It's my pleasure to be on the courthouse square of downtown Baraboo with the Grand Marshals of this year's Big Top Parade, the Elusive Sounds. So thank you so much for joining me. Bob Madland, you're the head of this group, so I will direct my first question to you. The Elusive Sounds have been around for a while. If I understand correctly, they've been in existence for 51 years. Can you tell me a little bit of the history of the Elusive Sounds?
I sure can. In fact, we talked about just how old the group was just the other night, because 51 years is a long time, and you do lose track of that. So how we figured this out is that our drummer, Donnie Harms, was exactly 17 years old. We did the math from that point, and we came up with 51 years. The first 2 years, we were not the Elusive Sounds. We were a different band. And so after 2 years is when we started the Elusive Sounds. So.
And you specialize in what kind of music?
Actually, what got us going and what created the Elusive Sounds, if you look up the Elusive, I-L-L-U-S-I-V-E, in Webster's, you'll find out that the definition is a myth. And the myth is you just really never know what's going to happen. We thought that was the perfect name for us, and we decided to do all kinds of music and entertain as well. So that was our background.
Excellent. Now, how many members of your group are original members?
Well, we started out with 5. One passed on, very sadly. And there are 3 here this year, which is a pretty nice treat for everybody. The 3 are Denny Schulte on sax, and Donnie Harms on drums, and of course, myself, Bob Madland.
And who are the other members of the current group?
Back of me here, yeah. Yeah, we didn't know they were standing back there. Yeah, left to right. We have Andy Johnson and on bass guitar. Next is Kathy Hausner, and she's vocal. And next is Todd Madland. He's our guest tonight, an excellent guitar player. And then Brian Johnson, who's been with the group for many, many years, also guitar player.
Excellent, excellent. So you are this year's Big Top Parade Grand Marshals. How do you feel about that experience, and what do you expect you will experience when you're in the parade?
You know, that's an excellent question, and I think we're going to let Denny answer that, so we take turns at this.
It took me a while to get my head around it. It's a very humbling honor, and it's the ultimate compliment. Usually you have to be 100 miles away from here and have a slide presentation to be recognized and hear the city of Baraboo and the Circus World Museum, and it's a very humbling thing to have happen. I'm very proud.
Wonderful.
And we are as well.
Wonderful. Now, after the parade, you are going to be performing right in this area, as I understand it.
That's
and
true.
You will be providing the music for a good old-fashioned sock hop. What all is that going to be about?
Okay. Yeah, let's get a little bit clearer definition on that one. The sock hop, we are required, because you know the title of the circus parade this year, you know, shake, rattle, and roll. And so we are going to shake, rattle, and roll. We're going to go back to the 50s and 60s, which is what we originated ourselves on 51 years ago. And so it's going to be music 50s and 60s. And that's going to be the sock hop. A lot of them are going to be dressed in the 50s. And we're going to entertain. So it'll be a lot of fun.
Excellent. So plan to do a little dancing after the parade.
You bet.
How long have the Elusive Sounds been performing at our downtown Baraboo concerts on the square? Do you perform elsewhere throughout the year, or is this your main concert that you do? And then what kind of preparation does it take? How many hours of rehearsal does it take?
Go ahead, answer it.
Well, the Elusive Sounds, I was on a sabbatical for quite some time, and they paid me a lot of money to come back here this year to play. No, I paid them a lot of money. That's what it was. Yeah. But I'm so happy to be back with this group because we had so much fun. And you know, this is kind of standstill things like this. But when we get going, we have a lot of fun. And I believe you've been playing here for like 5 years.
Yeah. The answer to that is this is our 5th one. And what started this is I approached Professor Stitch. And I said, you know, let's get the band together and call it just One More Time. Jerry said, that's a great idea. And we performed the first time 5 years ago, right here in this spot. It went over so well that the people said they got to be back again, and again, and again. This is the 5th time. And as far as how many hours that goes into a practice session, Donnie, you go ahead and answer that.
Well, we actually have put in, all of us together, about 8 hours for this this gig tonight. That doesn't count all the hours we put in at home working through the material over and over and over again. So once we get together, it all kind of jives together. It's a lot of work, a lot of work, a lot of hours, but we love it.
So do you perform elsewhere throughout the year, or is this really your one more time each year?
Well, you got to understand that all the years we've been playing, we used to play 3 and 4 nights a week, and this was yearly. So it became quite a second job for all of us. So we decided if we do this just one more time, this would be the only gig. However, I will not rule out what we were called in to do some years ago, and that was with the 9/11 incident, unfortunately. And so we put together quite a concert for it, and then later on the Haiti relief program at the L, beautiful L Ringling Theater, and we performed there. So I'm not ruling out things of that sort that might come to our attention. And it's something we like to do to give back to the community.
Carrie, thank you so much for that interview with the Elusive Sounds, our Grand Marshal for the 6th Annual Big Top Parade and Circus Celebration right here in beautiful downtown Baraboo. The crowd is pouring in. The smiles are on the faces of everyone. The smells of each street are happening behind us. It is a perfect day for the Circus Parades. We're very excited to bring you coverage of it. We'll be right back. More great sounds from Jaco here on 99.7 Max FM and TV 43.
I said, hey, baby, baby. I said, hey, baby, baby. I said, why you call me baby? And I tell you why, baby, yeah. Oh, baby, it's cute. That's what you are. I wanna cradle you, baby, into my arms. She said, whoa. I said, yeah. She said, whoa. I said, yeah, 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 baby. Oh, darling, I've been honey, baby, cutie, you're my sweetie. I say them corny little things, yeah, to you. Hey, baby, baby, don't you know it's true? Yeah.
Our sponsors making today's broadcast possible include our lead sponsor, Baraboo State Bank, and supported by Baraboo Pizza Ranch, Johnson Insurance, Bank of Wisconsin Dells, McGann Furniture, Poynton Heating and Air Conditioning, The Granary, MBE CPAs, Domino's of Baraboo, SSM Health, Baraboo Motors, and WCCU Credit Union. It's another great Circus Day at Baraboo.
Jaco McCluskey, the wonderful sounds, keeping us rocking here on this special 50s themed 6th Annual Big Top Parade and Circus Celebration. Mike Anger, Carrie, you just caught up with the Elusive Sounds before we headed to break. They're going to be a part of a sock hop going on here after the parade, correct?
They are indeed. I've been standing here dancing to Jaco during all of the breaks here. But yes, there will be a chance for everybody to be dancing on the courthouse lawn right after the parade today. Stick around for 2 hours of great music provided by our Grand Marshals, the Elusive Sounds.
Yes, it's going to be wonderful, so be sure to check that out after the parade. If you're around the area, be sure to hang out for that sock hop. And a guest now going to be joining us, that guy who doesn't need much of an introduction around here. You're always around Baraboo, and it's awesome. It's Tom Farley. Thank you so much for joining us.
Oh, yeah, Gary, great to be here. But I didn't wear socks.
Oh.
Can I still go to the sock hop?
I think you
I
can
don't know the
still
rules on
hop.
that.
All right.
You can still hop without the socks.
I can hop.
You are
as high as I used to.
You are a Big Top Parade veteran. You've, of course, been here. You've been a judge in the past.
Last couple years.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm still judging people.
There you go.
Still judging. Still judging.
So what about the Big Top Parade thrills you? What brings you back every year that you like it?
Well, it starts with, a town like Baraboo. It's a small, I love Wisconsin for its places like this. So it starts with Baraboo, and I got to know the people over the years, but most of all, it's a clown thing. The Farleys have always been kind of drawn to clowns, and actually to be up here and know people in the community that are actual clowns. I mean, it's like it's a dream. It's awesome. But no, this is really cool, and And there's food.
You can never go wrong with food.
Yeah, I like
That's
that.
a great option.
That's kind of cool.
So when you were a judge, what were you looking for? I mean, we were talking with Mariah Haberman from Discover Wisconsin a few minutes ago, and she's a judge this year for the first time. If you were to be giving her advice on what to be looking for in the parade, what would it be?
You know, I always liked the historical stuff. You know, it just gives a flavor to how rich and deep this goes in this community. So I always kind of categorize like history, and then uniqueness. You know, like kind of something you don't. Wow, I've never seen that before. And then just fun. You know, what you know, this is the kind of thing. It's like, for me, it was like, what brought a smile to my face? If I found myself smiling, I had to remember that float, or I had to remember that act, or whatever it was. So that's what it was for me. It was all right there.
Uniqueness and fun. Those are two.
Of the historical kinds of entries, do you have a favorite?
Yeah, I like the snake thing. No, I'm pandering.
Go ahead.
No,
pander.
you know, just like the old, like the names of like the old circuses that are like, it just, I don't know, there was just some really cool things. Every year it was a different one for me. You know, I liked one, I remember that from last year, but this one I liked better this year. So, and then of course, you know, one of my all-time favorites is, you know, this town and this high school has literally the best marching band costumes in America. And I look for that every year. I love the Baraboo High, you know, marching band.
And speaking of marching bands, that's great. Well done. We are going to have UW's Echoes of Camp Randall be joining us now. They are just like Tom. They've been joining us the last few years, and they're always a fun time. So Echoes of Camp Randall, let's hear them. A wonderful performance there by the Echoes of Camp Randall. Thank you guys so much for joining us here. I want to give a big thank you to Baraboo State Bank. They are a sponsor, not only the lead sponsor for the parade, but also for our broadcast and those beautiful shots we're getting from up in the sky. They were nice enough to help put that camera up there for us.
Absolutely. Many thanks to Baraboo State Bank and also to the Echoes of Camp Randall, those wonderful musicians from the UW Marching Band. I was doing the polka during part of that. I was having to do the polka all by myself.
I'm sorry. You just said something. I didn't see you. I was in the moment. So.
You were.
Thank you so much, and we'll be right back with more coverage of the 6th Annual Baraboo Big Top Parade and Circus Celebration here on 99.7 Max FM and TV 43.
We're under the big top today at Circus World with David Salutis, who wears many hats here. He's performance director, marketing director, and singing ringmaster. Dave, it's so nice to be with you today.
Great to be with you, Carrie.
So the first thing I noticed as we were walking into Circus World today is that instead of hearing circus music playing overhead, we're hearing music of the 1950s. What is that all about?
Yeah, isn't that fun? It's really all about fun. Circus World is celebrating their 60th anniversary this year. We opened July 1st, 1959. So we rolled back the hands of time to the 1950s, and you've got Little Richard, Connie Francis, Leslie Gore, all of these great rock and roll acts from the 1950s, and it's playing throughout the grounds.
So what all do you have planned this year at Circus World to celebrate the 60th anniversary?
Well, we've got a lot of special events, of course. The Big Top Parade in downtown Baraboo is going to be 1950s themed. That's a lot of fun. We've also got a car show coming up on August 5th, and we'll have all kinds of vintage cars around the grounds, and it looks, with the help of Dennis Kluge, it looks like it's going to be a really great turnout. We're also hoping to be able to do a showing of the sing-along version of Greatest Showman, that movie, and it's going to be a joint fundraiser for Circus World and the Boys and Girls Club. And we should have it in the Big Top, so that'll be great fun. We've got all kinds of things planned. It's just going to be a whole summer of fun.
So what about on a daily basis? What can visitors expect here at Circus World when they come to visit, whether it's a special event, weekend, or not?
Oh, we've always got things going throughout the day. As you know, we have about 8 or 9 different shows throughout the day. And one that's real special and dear to my heart is the Big Top show, which we're calling Doo-Wop Big Top this year. All performed to 1950s music, and it's just been a gas.
So what are some of the acts that are featured in the show this year in the Doo-Wop Big Top show?
We've got Hans Close and his Hog Diggity Dog review. He's got 2 giant 700-pound pigs, 19 dogs, all in the ring at the same time. They do amazing things, and he became available when Ringling Brothers closed. And by the way, we're not Ringling Brothers and we're not closing. But anyway, his act was on that show for 8 years. It became available to us, and it's just a highlight of this year's show. Of course, we've got our 3 beautiful elephants under the hands of Armando Loyal, who is a wonderful animal presenter. We've also got Wesley Williams back, who is going on the Gong Show tonight. So we're hoping that he comes out of that experience quite well. But Wesley drives the 25-foot tall unicycle, of course, and that's just amazing. Colleen Pages of the Pages Family Circus is here. She helps out Hans Close, and she also does her wonderful trapeze act.
Excellent. Well, it sounds like a fabulous show and a fabulous day for families. Just what is your season this year? When does your summer season end?
The summer season goes through Sunday, September 2nd.
Okay, and your hours of operation?
Hours at this point will be 9 in the morning until 5 p.m.
Excellent.
And then we're going to be going 7 days a week right through October 31st.
Wow.
With just the exhibits.
So in addition to the show and your live performance season and circus wagon restoration, you're also preparing for the Big Top Parade as an organization. What are some of the things you're doing to prepare for the parade?
Well, Heavy's gone over the wagon list and making sure all of the wagons are in tip-top shape for the parade. Of course, they're all 100, 125 years old, so you've got to make sure the axles are greased and the brakes are working properly, things look like they should, and he goes over everything with a fine-tooth comb. We've got some volunteers in wardrobe putting together the wardrobe efforts, and then we're helping with the logistical things and working with Dean Kruger to pull all the horse teams together. So it's quite an undertaking.
Well, you have lots of experience with this, having been the director of the Great Circus Parade in Milwaukee for so many years, so this probably just seems like second nature to you.
Well, it really is. It's, you know, when you've done 50 wagons in a parade down in Milwaukee on the lakefront, being able to do 14 wagons for your hometown parade is really kind of a thrill. And to bring all of this circus heritage on the streets of Baraboo, where it really all began with the Ringling Brothers.
I have one final question for you that's just been burning. This year you don't wear a ringmaster's jacket in the big top, nor do you have your signature mustache. So what's that all about?
Well,
you're incognito this year.
I've kind of got a different look, and you know, after this many years, maybe it's about time. But mustaches weren't big in the 1950s. Most people were clean shaven. So I took off the mustache. I grew the sideburns because those were big in the 50s. And then we have a quick change act in the show, the Smirnoffs, Olga and Vladimir Smirnoff. And I thought, wouldn't it be fun if instead of the ringmaster coat, which is traditional, if I got all of these 1950s spangly sequined coats and I change them for every act announcement. That way it kind of sets the stage for what you're going to see with the Smirnoffs. I call my act the slow change act, and they do the quick change.
Well, that's wonderful. Thank you so much, Dave, for spending some time with us today. We'll look forward to seeing you in the Big Top and also seeing all of the work that you do behind the scenes for the Big Top Parade.
Well, thanks, Gary. Go do a Big Top.
Back here live at the 6th Annual Big Top Parade and Circus Celebration here in beautiful downtown Baraboo, and what a beautiful day it's ended up being. I've got Carrie Olson and Tom Farley here joining us, and yeah, couldn't ask for a much better day.
It has been a fabulous experience so far. How is it that the pre-parade show can be going by so fast?
I have no idea. Usually it's the parade that once it gets started, it just flies by. The pre-parade show has been so much fun that it's just, it's been a blast, so it's going quick. Tom, what have you thought so far?
Well, I opened up with the pancakes.
And after that, it's been all just uphill. It's been great. It's just, yeah, it's fun to get here early and just see all the empty chairs all of a sudden fill up and the crowd start rolling in. And now we're at full swing, ready to launch this baby. And this is fun. It's exciting.
You know, when you were mentioning the empty chairs, when I got here early this morning, there were all of these chairs that had been left out and people had cordoned off areas and taped areas, and then all of a sudden people start showing up and filling the chairs. It's pretty amazing.
Yeah, it's definitely something unique.
Yeah, and what a beautiful day we have here in downtown Baraboo. I just am so happy to see such a big crowd, and everybody's having fun, and kids are playing in the bouncy houses, and we've had some great entertainment happening right here with the echoes of Camp Randall and Jaco McCluskey, and yeah, what a great time.
And a Grand Marshals Elusive Sounds, you were able to catch up with them before. I want to remind everybody that after the parade, there's going to be a sock hop taking place. That's going to be on the corner of Oak and 4th Street, so be sure to get down here for that. Also, he mentioned the flapjacks that were being served before. They're going to switch that over to grilled cheeses, also chips, and they're going to have some water and some soda and things like that. Tom Farley, I want to thank you so much for joining us during this broadcast.
Oh, thank you. I love being up here. You know, last couple of years I've been a judge.
Yep.
And that was fun. It was fun to be able to be in the actual parade and then see all the floats. It was great.
Wonderful. Well, you get your spot all situated and enjoy the parade.
I will.
We'll be right back here on 99.7 Max FM.
You're gonna cry when they turn you down, and I ain't coming back tomorrow. I ain't coming back today. Come back here tomorrow, what I say. What you gonna do with the new blue sound? Are you gonna bring your 6-string violin? Yeah. Well, I ain't coming back tomorrow. I ain't coming back today. Come back here tomorrow, what I say. Well, the days right here seem to be so hard. Ooh, if I sing my blues, bring my guitar, baby, that'll be your style, yeah. What you gonna do if you don't get fouled? Are you gonna wear your rockabilly crown, yeah? Well, I ain't coming back tomorrow. I ain't coming back today. Come back here tomorrow, what I say. Let's go. Well, the days right here seem to be so hard. Ooh, if I sing my blues, bring my guitar, baby, that'll be your song, yeah. What you gonna do when you leave this town? Are you gonna cry when they turn you down? Wait, I ain't coming back tomorrow. I ain't coming back today, yeah. Come back here tomorrow, but I say, come back here tomorrow. Come back here tomorrow. Come back here tomorrow, but I say.
It's a wonderful sounds of Jaco McCluskey. Thank you so much for joining us, Jaco. If you got a second here, we want to talk a little about what you've got coming up. You given us the wonderful sound so far today. What's your next show gig, and what are you going to be performing next?
Yeah, I got a gig tomorrow, or tonight actually, over in Casanova for the Cas celebration. We'll be performing, the trio and I will be performing from 9 p.m. to 11:30 p.m. with the Birch Brothers afterwards. Recording tomorrow in Portage. And then I think we got some wedding gigs next week, though. But it's a pretty busy summer so far. So, yeah, just gigging and recording.
All right, Jaco, thank you so much. And we are just about set now for the parade broadcast. I think I look off in the distance. I see it start making its way around the corner, and definitely excited for what's coming up here today.
Absolutely. The crowd is assembling, and it's one of the biggest crowds I've ever seen at a Big Top parade here in town. I mean, we've got people, I don't know, 5, 6, 7 deep standing down the street waiting for the parade to begin, and it's a beautiful day in Baraboo. You know, there has been so much going on in this community that's been circus oriented. Even yesterday, the residents of St. Clair Meadows Care Center had their own second annual great little circus parade, so that was really fun. The windows in many of the storefronts here in town have been decorated for circus, and they've even had their own contest through Downtown Baraboo Incorporated. There's just been a lot that's been going on. Concerts on the square, which ended up being in the banquet hall of the Al Ringling Mansion because of weather. That was fabulous. Listening to Professor Gerald Stitch's original Baraboo Circus Band playing great circus marches and other favorites. This whole community galvanizes behind this event, the Big Top Parade, and celebrates all things circus.
Yeah,
and don't forget the special pricing at Circus World this afternoon. When they get done with the parade and have a corn dog or something down the street, they can go down to Circus World for the rest of the afternoon for tremendous pricing.
For $5.
$5, yeah. Take the whole family of 4 in for only $20.
Yes.
Where are you going to go and get that deal?
And the schedule for Circus World after this, if that's something you're interested in, go and check it out. Head over to Circus World. It's $5 to get in. At 1 o'clock, they're going to have a special Big Top performance there at the Big Top tent. Then following that at 1:45, they're going to have a special Circus Wagon tour happening at the Deputy Wagon Pavilion. Then at 2:30, Tiger Adventures over at the Tiger compound, and that's in the Ringlingville area. That's at 2:30 once again. And then finally, the Big Top performance will happen one more time at 3:30. Some special show times for a very special day here in Baraboo.
And you can really do more than one thing. If you stay downtown, have some lunch on Eat Street, and then stay for the Elusive Sounds, our grand marshals for the parade today are going to have a 2-hour musical extravaganza of 1950s, 60s music in an old-fashioned sock hop on the courthouse lawn. And then you can head to Circus World and take in all of the festivities and the shows.
I want to give a big thank you out to the Baraboo State Bank. Not only are they the primary sponsor for the parade, but they're also the sponsor of our broadcast, and they allowed us to put a camera up on top of the roof, so you're seeing some incredible shots that you've never seen before here during the coverage of the Circus Parade, and we're very excited to bring you those. I want to thank again Baraboo State Bank and all the sponsors that help out.
We are so happy to be able to start out the 6th annual Baraboo Big Top Parade with the color guard that's coming into view. They are representatives from several American Legion and Veterans of Foreign Wars posts. They're carrying the United States flag, the state of Wisconsin flag, the prisoners of war flag, and flags from their respective posts. And everybody is standing up and watching them and honoring them as the color guard hard to begin today's parade.
And here they start to come into view here for us on 99.7 Max FM and TV 43. We thank you for joining us. Of course, you can check us out on Facebook and YouTube as well. We got the live coverage going on over there, and there you see it. The color guard indeed stepping into focus here for the 6th annual Big Top Parade and Circus Celebration.
And we welcome all of you who are watching locally on television, but also those of you from all over the world who are joining us via Facebook Live today. Thanks for joining us.
And no local parade would be complete without the living flag of Sauk County, comprised of members of the Sauk County University of Wisconsin Extension's Home Community Education Organization. They've been marching in parades for more than 35 years. The original set of gowns was made 60 years ago by a state homemakers pageant. These 7 women dressed up as the moving American flag are not only beautiful to look at, but they are also singing some beautiful patriotic songs as well. You're a grand old flag. There they go.
Oh, wow. And now look what's coming into view. This is an amazing mode of transportation rocketing in at lightning speed. Brought to us today by Baraboo's own T.J. Howell. We see the popular circus entertainer rocketing into view on his one-wheeled Wonder, which has appeared in over 500 parades and events throughout the Midwest. Although similar to a unicycle, instead of sitting above the wheel, TJ rides inside of it. The rocket cycle lives up to its name. It can go an amazing 35 miles per hour. You can see TJ and his son Carson daily throughout the summer performing at the Tommy Bartlett Ski Sky Stage Show in Wisconsin Dells. And there he is doing some of his, I don't know what it is, wheeling around there.
Yes.
I think I'd be dizzy if I was doing that.
That's the thing. He just started, too. By the end of that thing, you'd think you'd be a little woozy sitting in there. I want to say that a lot of our performers participating in today's parade, of course, have family ties to the circus, which stretch back generations, and Cruise Motor Sales here on the square in downtown Baraboo that shares that extinction as well. As a third-generation family-owned business, Cruise Motor Sales has been serving members of the community for 69 years. You can visit Cruise Motor Sales on the square in downtown Baraboo or online at cruisebaraboo.com, one of our many great sponsors to help out in this circus parade this year. And on their way as well, we see a different mode of transportation. This one a little bit slower than the previous one. We see the behind the TJ ride. It is the Wisconsin Wheelmen from Lake Mills, Wisconsin, an international club devoted to the history, research, and restoration of riding antique bicycles, especially the bike known as the high wheel from way back in the 1800s. And there you see some people dressed up like they're from the 1800s riding those high wheel bikes.
And they are really skilled. Just look at them on camera. This man who is he has one leg outstretched. He's only got 1 foot on the pedal. That is amazing stuff. And we're getting some great views from the roof of the Baraboo State Bank. Once again, Baraboo State Bank is the lead sponsor of the parade, but also the primary lead sponsor of this broadcast. So thanks to them for that vantage point. We get a really good view of the Wisconsin Wheelmen. Mike, I think next year you'll be doing that, right?
No way. I don't know which I'd rather do. These what bikes or the TJ Howell bike? I'm not sure. Both
no,
of them
Ralph is going to be in the TJ Howell bike.
Yeah, oh yeah. Mm-hmm.
You got a year to
I think
practice.
they got to build it a little bigger for me.
You've got a year to practice, Ralph. It'll be just like second nature. And you can see that people have even been doing some chalk art in the middle of the street. That's always really fun to see. You can only see that if you're looking down from the roof of the bank. And those Wisconsin Wheelmen, they are fabulous.
And the massive crowd there you can see as we're looking down from above the top, as Carrie mentioned. Crowd, a lot of smiling faces, a lot of people very excited, and off to the distance now, starting to move its way in, is the Baraboo Police Department's Columbia Mega Vehicle. It's made by the Columbia Park Car in Reedsburg, Wisconsin, and driving the neighborhood electric vehicle there is Police Animal Control Officer Allison Getz, and her passenger is none other than McGruff the Crime Dog, and here they come into view.
I thought that was pretty hilarious that the animal control officer would be driving the vehicle with McGruff the Crime Dog.
You can't let McGruff in there with anybody. You need someone who can control an animal, obviously.
That's right, and Allison is the one to do it. And we see McGruff waving to the crowd. The kids are loving it. And there you get a real opportunity to see the size of the crowds just right in our vicinity.
Looking down each street right there, those are so many options for food, and we see our judges.
That's right. They're getting out of their vehicle right now. This year's celebrity judges are Miss Wisconsin Tiana Vanderhei, Discover Wisconsin host Mariah Haberman, who we talked to during the pre-parade show, and award-winning Baraboo News Republic columnist Ben Bromley. They were in a BMW convertible courtesy of Baraboo Police Chief Mark Schaaf. Our judges have a huge job. They're going to be selecting the best commercial, nonprofit, and youth entries in today's parade. Every winner will receive $100 of Baraboo area chamber bucks, as well as a trophy donated by Supreme Awards. The winners will be determined at the conclusion of the parade.
And following right behind them, getting a well-deserved chance to rest their feet and enjoy the limelight, is the Big Top Parade co-chairs Nancy Kathlish as well as Doug Hill, riding in a Jeep courtesy of the Baraboo Motors Group. Nancy, Doug, and the volunteers for the Big Top Parade Committee and the Baraboo Area Chamber of Commerce staff work year-round to produce this signature event for Baraboo. Let's give them a hand.
Yeah, they do such tremendous work. And now we're seeing coming into view the soon-to-be famous Lodi Community Band from Lodi, Wisconsin. The musicians are riding on their very own circus-inspired wagon. Under the baton of John Fitzgerald, this group of 20 band members, which awards scholarships to music students from Lodi, has been performing in parades and concerts since 1948. Let's enjoy their music. Ah, that was great. And you can tell by the applause, the crowd loves them. There will be lots of music in the parade today. So many different musical entries in this year's parade, including great bands like the soon-to-be famous Lodi Community Band.
And Pat and Linda Lefevre are right there behind them. They are the Baraboo State Bank representatives riding in a convertible courtesy of Don Larson GM Superstore in Baraboo. And that is Kyle Mielda. They're driving behind the wheel. Pat is an executive vice president and the chief credit officer at the bank. And Linda is an area dental hygienist. The Lefevre family moved to Baraboo in 2014. The Baraboo State Bank is this year's Big Top Parade presenting sponsor and the lead sponsor for this very broadcast. We want to thank them once again.
Absolutely. Their generosity is tremendous. So many thanks to the Baraboo State Bank for supporting this event in so many different ways, including being the lead sponsor of this broadcast that's being broadcast all over the globe. Now we're seeing an elegant circus carriage from Circus World's unparalleled collection. This beautiful vehicle is the Royal Italian Band Carriage. Riding in the carriage are representatives from Baraboo State Bank, this year's parade presenting sponsor and lead sponsor of the parade broadcast. We see Mike Beckman, Megan Miller, Simon Miller, Lori Ahrensmeyer, Jenny Kinsler, and Tracy Sefkar. The wagon is pulled by 4 Haflinger horses provided by Jim Wilbur of Leaf River, Illinois. And I love all their costumes. Wagon. They look so
Number
beautiful.
Number 13 next.
Okay.
13, Hills.
Ah, great.
Good eye there, as well. We got a little bit out of order here. So this is indeed the Hills entry here, a 1935 Ford 1/2-ton truck right there, driven by Doug Hill of Baraboo, and driven by, from Doug Hill. It's driven by his son-in-law, that is Dan Wiedenfeld. The truck is pulling a wagon featuring large banners on each side, recognizing the many fine sponsors for today's Big Top Parade broadcast and the parade itself. And thanks to the tremendous support from the local businesses and grantors to be able to bring you this great parade.
And now we're seeing coming into view, welcoming back to the Big Top Parade, the Zor Tin Lizzies of Altoona, Wisconsin. Organized in the early 1980s, the group currently has 25 members who alternate driving their Tin Lizzie cars in 17 parades each year. The fees they receive for their parade appearances are donated to the Shriners Hospital for Children system of 22 hospitals. The group's motto is, "We parade so kids can walk." Look at them. Isn't that great?
Yes, no doubt. And I want to remind everyone that the Circus Parade is a celebration of joy and excitement that the circus brings to the Baraboo community. If you want to celebrate the joy and excitement of your special someone bring to your life, then you want to be sure to get them a dazzling gift from Sophie's Fine Jewelry in Baraboo. Visit Sophie's Fine Jewelry and Gifts Baraboo.com, and then stop in to see Joyce at Sophie's, still located in the Baraboo Mini Mall. That's right across from O'Reilly's. And next up, with all the classic cars and unique circus wagons we have in this parade, it's perfect that we are joined by the Baraboo Fire Department, rolling in a vintage Model T fire truck, and that is just coming into view here after the Tin Lizzies start to roll by. It's a beautiful, well cared for vehicle, and today it's driven by Tom Clark.
Look at how beautiful that fire truck shines in the sunlight. It is gorgeous. And of course, they're kind of staying in view for a little bit because we've got all of those Zor Tin Lizzies zooming around ahead of them. This is a great day in downtown Baraboo. And I love seeing all of the smiles on children, on grandmas and grandpas, and everybody in between. The kids are just loving this. It's such a great family-friendly event. And next we are going to be seeing, there is another close-up of Tom Clark and the fire truck.
11.
Excellent. And then pretty soon we're seeing, coming next into view, a fitting tribute to the Stars and Stripes, the 50 states in the red, white, and blue. We see the Barnum and Bailey Our Country tableau wagon from the unequaled collection preserved at Circus World. The wagon is being pulled today by a Fabic cat donated for this event.
And as you see those beautiful flags there atop that wagon.
Yeah, isn't that beautiful?
No doubt.
Wow, that is great camera work to capture those beautiful, beautiful wagons.
And another wonderful view showing the crowd and the wonderful wagon as it moves by our spot here in downtown Baraboo on a beautiful day here.
It is. It's like a perfect day.
Couldn't have asked for anything better.
It's breezy and the sun is shining and it's rather cool, so it's very pleasant.
And off in the distance, this is the Zor Mavericks, correct?
Yes.
Yes.
The Zor Mavericks. Take it away, Mike.
Sounds good. They're from Watauga, Wisconsin, and the group was chartered in 1984. You hear them coming here from the distance. The members ride a 1986. A number of them red Honda Sprees, participating in more than 25 parades around central Wisconsin. As we can see, this colorful unit does precise maneuvers along the parade route to the delight of spectators. The group ranges in age from mid-20s all the way up to their 80s, and all the net proceeds from this parade, or from their parades, I should say, in which they participate, are donated to the Shriners Hospitals for Children. Kind of want to see them and the Shriners have a little race here down the street. That'd be interesting.
You know, it's fun that we have two different entries today from the Zor Shriners,
Yes.
the Mavericks as well as the Tin Lizzies. And here we see a sponsor banner for Baraboo Awning. We'll be seeing banners representing many of the major sponsors of today's event. We could not have a parade like this without the generosity of the community in so many ways, whether it's financial support, volunteer support, creating an entry for the parade, supporting the parade in many, many ways. That's what makes a community event like this so very special. And soon we will now be seeing coming into view a tribute to the American men and women who are serving or have served our country so valiantly. We welcome the veterans of the U.S. Armed Forces from throughout Sauk County and beyond. Among them are members of Area American Legion and veterans of foreign wars posts and members of their associated auxiliaries, riding in vehicles from the Badger Steam and Gas Engine Club, as well as in other vehicles, including a military Jeep and a 3/4-ton truck, and even on motorcycles. The Army Jeep and 3/4-ton truck come to us today from Larry Randall and the Dells VFW post number 9387. And as we would hope, as we would expect, everyone is standing and applauding and offering their congratulations and their gratitude to these individuals for having served our country with such distinction.
And they had the first dog in the parade, so they already got my heart.
There
I love
you
the puppy
go.
that already made its way onto the parade. So
Look
here they
at
come.
all of them. And again, we're getting that great view from the camera that's high atop the Baraboo State Bank, right where we're located today. We have a great vantage point, but boy, that camera is from the top, the roof of the bank is really spectacular.
It is remarkable up there. Mike Anger, Kerry Olson, and Ralph Pierce as we're on the square here in downtown Baraboo for the 6th annual Baraboo Big Top Parade and Circus Celebration.
Yeah, look at all of the great entries here that are part of the section saluting and recognizing all of our veterans and of all ages. It's really a spectacular display. This is just great. Dennis Kluge does a tremendous amount of work recruiting all of the entry that becomes the section pertaining to the veterans, and we thank Dennis Kluge for all he does to organize that for us.
And here we see some beautiful vehicles starting to make their way in here.
And again, recognizing the veterans as they are riding in some of these excellent convertibles of all vintages, all designs, all colors, all makes.
Some cherry flip top boxes right there. I've got to do the 50. You guys got the circus thing down. I got to try to work in some 50s lines every now and then.
Gosh,
so there we go.
You are so good. You are so good. So I'll expect you to be saying some of that over at the sock hop.
Sure,
later.
yeah, absolutely. I brought my socks, unlike Tom Farley, so I'm ready to go.
He offered to just hop.
There you go, which
there
is fine.
There you go. Yeah, that'll be fine.
Zooming in on some of those beautiful rides.
Yeah, look at, oh, this is fabulous. And again, people are standing, they're applauding, they are recognizing all of the veterans who are in this section of the parade. We couldn't begin our parade without having this wonderful section. This is part of Americana. Americana, so much a part of Circus. And we saw that with the Our Country tableau wagon. We'll be seeing another couple of wagons in the parade that also pay tribute in one way or another to America, to the United States. Wow, that's a beautiful car. And because the sun is shining and they're all just so waxed and beautiful,
yes,
the cars just glisten in the sunlight. And there's Dennis Kluge himself waving there. He was driving one of the vehicles. Again, our thanks to Dennis for coordinating this entire section. And now, as part of this section, because Dave Dahlke is a U.S. Air Force veteran, and his wife may be as well, we see West Baraboo Village President David Dahlke and his wife Katie, and they're even in costumes today, which is exciting.
And that was a perfect vehicle, 1959 Ford convertible, so right decade.
Yeah, courtesy of Tom Pollard.
And right behind them, it is Baraboo Mayor Mike Palm and his wife Bonnie in a 1965 Ford Mustang convertible, courtesy of Ike Andrews of Baraboo. Mayor Palm serves on the Circus World Museum Foundation Board of Directors. He and Bonnie and their children volunteered for many years with the Circus World's production of the Great Circus Parade in Milwaukee.
And they were wearing 1950s attire, which was really fun. And now we see Peter Vedro, the chair of the Sauk County Board of Supervisors. He looks like a ringmaster there. He's riding in a 2002 Ford Mustang convertible, courtesy of Ike Andrews of Baraboo. And wow, the sunshine is really striking this wagon. This is the Ringling Brothers Lion Tableau wagon, and riding on board are about a dozen musicians from Professor Gerald Stitch's original Baraboo Circus Band. These musicians hail from all over the greater Baraboo area. Some of them have been playing together since as early as 1980. The wagon dates back a century earlier to around 1880. It was purchased by the Ringling Brothers in 1890, who operated their circus from Baraboo. The wagon is being pulled by 4 Percherons driven by Mike Gildernick of De Pere, Wisconsin. Now we can have a chance to listen to their great music.
Listen in.
The reason that this wagon shines so in the sun is because it's actually gold leaf.
Absolutely.
This is not gold paint, this is actual gold. Wow. Hand applied, one little thin sheet at a time, and it just shines magnificently.
It does, doesn't it? And so does their music. It shines too.
Worked out perfect that there was a little bit of a break here, because then you got to really appreciate and look in at this beautiful wagon, as we're still seeing it from high atop the
You have to
State
remember
Bank.
that in 1890s, that was only the 7th season that the Ringling Show was on the road, and so for them to acquire this wagon and something as big and glamorous as that was quite a feat. Only their 7th season out. They were still growing, and it's a magnificent wagon to add to their parades when they paraded down the streets of a town.
Baraboo's very own Ringling Brothers, absolutely. And speaking of performers, go ahead, Mike.
Now we know why there's a little bit of a break. The lumbering elephants are starting to make their way over here. Back in the day, circus elephants appeared in the circus street parades. Onlookers will be warned to hold their horses because the elephants were coming. Today, we don't have any onlookers on horseback, but we do have 3 just massive there pachyderms, Becky, Lisa, and Tracy on Baraboo's city streets, presented by Armando Armando Loyal, and riding high atop the elephants are Tatiana Fusco-Combs as well as Adriana Parker, and they're starting to come into the screen here.
Wow, and they fill the entire screen.
Yes, they do.
We know that they are big elephants. Look at that.
Armando Loyal comes from a longtime circus fan. His circus family, excuse me. His mother, Lucy Loyal, was on Carson and Barnes as well as he was, and his grandfather was with the Loyal Rapensky troupe.
Okay.
So his circus history goes back many generations, and he's been here now 2 years at Circus World with the performing elephants.
And what's so cool is that this year Circus World is celebrating its 60th anniversary, so its Big Top show is the doo-wop Big Top performance, and so there's a real 50s theme going on there to celebrate the fact that they first opened on July 1st, 1959. So here's a combination of circus elephants and riders wearing 1950s polka dot skirts, and so that encapsulates this year's entire doo-wop Big Top theme. Oh, wow.
Look at him
go. Oh, my
go.
gosh. That's fabulous. The crowd is loving it. They're loving it.
Definitely our largest entries this year during the parade.
I would say so, and they really got a sensation. When they say they can get a rise out of the audience, all they have to do is get up on their hind legs and they create a rise. Oh, that was exciting. Very exciting. And I see one of our bicycling police officers. We thank the Baraboo Police Department and others for all that they're doing to make this a safe and enjoyable event for everyone. And here we see the elephants from up above. Again, they fill the screen, that's for sure.
And next coming up here, it appears like our Grand Marshals. Yes, indeed, it is going to be the Grand Marshals of the Big Top Parade. That is Elusive Sound, a popular musical group from the greater Baraboo area that's been performing since 1951. They are riding on a wagon pulled by a 1949 Mack EH truck, owned and driven by Matt Williams of Baraboo. Immediately after the parade, we've been talking about the sock hop. That's going to be happening on the courthouse grounds.
Oh, and here we have some trishaws that are coming from the SSM St. Clair Meadows Care Center. They offer skilled nursing care, assisted living, and recovery care in Baraboo. Last year, the Meadows joined the International Cycling Without Age movement, and so here are those really neat trishaws that they do where they're powered by a bicycle. That is so great. And residents from the Meadows are riding today, appearing in today's parade. What a lovely thing.
Absolutely. And right ahead of that, we saw the Hills Wiring sponsor banner, the recognizing Wills Hiring for being another one of our wonderful sponsors for the parade today. And you can hear this group for sure.
Absolutely. This is a hometown favorite, the Baraboo High School Thunderbird Marching Band. These band members aren't just clowning around either. Under the direction of Griffin James and Julia Lumsden, this award-winning group is wearing the clown band costumes that made them famous in great circus parades in Milwaukee for many years. Many thanks to the folks who worked in the Circus World wardrobe department this summer to costume various units for today's parade.
The Baraboo High School's marching band moves on by, and leaping lions, charging tigers. Here comes Arthur Brothers' ticket wagon. It is resembling the painting of charging tiger image taken from a famous 1915 poster designed by Charles Livingston Bull. It's no wonder the wagon's nickname is the Charging Tiger. The wagon, as you can see, is built around the 1920s. Over the years, it's been modified several times, including as a reserved ticket wagon in the 1945 Arthur Brothers Circus. And when Circus World restored the wagon, they restored it to that same appearance from 1945. The wagon is being pulled today by a Mack truck from Circus World.
And again, because of that spectacular vantage point of the roof on top of Baraboo State Bank, we are able to see that wagon from a new perspective. And now coming into view, we welcome Sauk County's fairest of the fair, Jenna Engel of Reedsburg, Sauk County's agricultural ambassador, who in addition to her other year-round duties served as spokesperson for the 2018 Sauk County Fair in Baraboo earlier this month. Jenna will be studying either agribusiness or animal studies at UW Platteville. She plans to become either a livestock nutritionist or a reproductive specialist for cows. So again, we welcome Jenna Engel, Sauk County's fairest of the fair today. And here we see some of Baraboo's football players that are carrying the Max FM sponsor banner. Thank you so much to Max FM, this station, for being one of the major sponsors of this year's Big Top Parade. And in addition to seeing the football players and the banner, we also see Corky the clown, who comes from Brookfield, Wisconsin. The kids absolutely love to see Corky in the parade every year. Following behind, we see the Dual County Community Band, and we hear them as well. They're a nonprofit instrumental group of dedicated and talented musicians from various backgrounds and South Central Wisconsin communities. They rehearse every Thursday at the Partyville, Wisconsin High School, and they perform all throughout South Central Wisconsin under the direction of Dan Evans.
There they go, and right behind them, it's going to be, it looks like the Baraboo Club Pack. Yes, it is indeed that. Pack 377, celebrating our community's circus heritage, ready to have some camping fun. They they know how to make circus fun, and you can look at the clowns in the camping tent each year. For the past 30 years, Baraboo has hosted the Circus Heritage Days, where scouts of all ages come to Baraboo, camp at the Sauk County Fairgrounds, and immerse themselves in the history of circus in the area.
Here we see some folks from Festival Foods, and oh, they're very popular. They're tossing some candy into the crowd, and oh my gosh, here we have all kinds of little clowns getting out of the Cub Pack tent. So it's not a clown car, it's a clown tent.
Wonder how many they can fit in there.
I don't know.
Looks like a lot of them.
But a lot of them are getting in and out of that. Oh, that's cute. That's cute. That's a great use of the theme there.
Hopefully the judges are taking notice, because following and after that, following right behind, it is Jack Frost frozen yogurt. There is a way to cool off that heat today. Not too bad today, but you can always head over to Jack Frost's iconic location. This is their iconic penguin, complete in circus style. It has Jack Frost frozen yogurt, a delicious business on 3rd Avenue right here in downtown Baraboo. Every day is a perfect day for some frozen yogurt.
And here we have an entry from Community First Bank in Baraboo, and you see right on their little wagon in the back there is Penny. Penny is their smiling green frog mascot. And so we're glad to see Community First Bank in the parade today.
And you mentioned Festival. Here they come now in our view. Festival of Baraboo. Falling behind are some none other than Mally, as well as Petals, Twinkles, and Sprinkles, members of the clowns from Waukesha, Wisconsin. Accompanying them, Bloopers and Oofty Goofty. Those are some names right there. They hail from Minnesota. Bloopers is riding in a 2003 Mazda Miata convertible, as you see right there, and that's all courtesy of Charlene Flint of Baraboo.
Absolutely, that is so cute. And I don't know if you saw on the Festival Foods truck, but they had clown fright wigs all across the front of the Festival Foods van. So that's great. And soon we see coming into view the South Central Cyclones Youth Hockey Association. And of course, on a July day in Baraboo, wouldn't you expect to be seeing a Zamboni?
Yes.
You know, we do the Christmas light parade too, and so I would expect a Zamboni then. But when it's really a warm, sunny, delightful July day in downtown Baraboo, the last thing I would expect to see is a Zamboni. But you know, we have one here.
We've got it all here during the 6th annual Big Top Parade and Circus Celebration. Some youngsters skating around. Nice thing is you don't need ice. You can just go with the blades right there and get on along here.
And some of the skaters have on red clown wigs too.
They're owning it there. They're getting into it. And right behind that is the Alliant Energy sponsor banner, recognizing yet another one of our major sponsors. I want to thank Alliant Energy for all their support as well for the Big Top Parade.
And here's the beautiful Sparks ticket wagon, also known as the Sea Serpent Tableau because of the sea creature wood carvings featured on the wagon's sides. It was built in 1913, where it served as a band wagon in the Sparks Circus Parade, then was set up to sell tickets on the Midway. The wagon was originally painted white, but by 1915 it had been painted red with gold leaf carvings, just as it looks today. Riding on top are local circus celebrities Kathy Klein-Hebing and Peter and June Sturgis. Also riding on top are attorney Michael Soul of Cross Jenks Mercer and Maffei and Baraboo, and Scott and Lisa Wysocki of SSM Health St. Clair Hospital. The wagon is being pulled by two Suffolks driven by Eliza Howe of Lena, Illinois. Excellent.
Yet another beautiful wagon here in the parade. And it's time to get more toe-tapping music and hand-clapping music, as here is the Sauk Prairie High School Marching Band from Sauk City in Prairie du Sac, Wisconsin. These 85 talented musicians are under the direction of Matt Kaczynski, and we're going to be able to listen in here as they start to make their way towards us. Are on the square here in downtown Baraboo for this big top parade, and we're right across the square. Our longtime circus parade partners, Cruise Motor Sales, with nearly 70 years experience. The ASE certified technicians at Cruise can quickly diagnose issues with your vehicle and get you back on the road in no time. You can visit cruisebaraboo.com or visit them in person right off the square in downtown Baraboo.
Members from Baraboo Bluffs ATV Club riding side by side. The group supports safe, scenic, and functional ATV and UTV routes in Sauk County and safe riding practices for the ATV sport.
There they are, some more beautiful vehicles moving their way in.
And they're dressed for the circus.
Yes, they are. They've got it
I guess
down.
they're clown ATVs or clown cars or
CTVs.
Yeah,
clown train vehicles. We'll go with that.
That's what it is.
There you go.
That's it. That sounds perfect.
And right behind them, as we're getting some zoom in shots of them, we get to see this very unique entry here. First Night Baraboo. It's a fun new event that is going to herald the new year 2019. And the event organizers are going to be offering family-friendly events and activities in numerous locations in downtown Baraboo coming up. It's going to begin during the afternoon of December 31st all the way through the wee hours of July 1st, which is great because you've always got all the lights activities you can do as adults. Sometimes the kids are a little bit left out on that particular holiday, so that works out well.
Absolutely. I think this is a great idea. Talking with the organizers of it, they said there are first night's events that take place all over the country, and now we'll have one in Baraboo. Now coming into view are the Baraboo Roller Derby Circus City Derby Dames rockin' and rollin' in this year's parade in their 1950s poodle, or as they told me, elephant skirts. Ask me about roller derby, they're saying. Oh my gosh. Maybe that's what we do in next year's parade, Mike.
I'm in. And you can do, if you get a look at there of those skirts they've got on. They do indeed have elephants on them, so there they are waving over.
And they truly are rolling down the street. Wow, good for them.
And following up behind that, we see Scoopy, the lovable mascot from Culver's of Baraboo. Scoopy reminds us that a scoop of Culver's frozen custard is a delicious treat, especially on a warm day in July. The always smiling Scoopy.
Literally I was going to say, look at that smile. It makes me smile, too, looking at Scoopy. Look at that happy face.
Dancing away.
That's right. There was also a sponsor banner for MBE CPAs. They're a major sponsor of today's parade. And now coming into view, we're going to be seeing and hearing the Beck family Calliope wagon. And yes, in the circus, you do pronounce it Calliope. It was recently acquired by Circus World with a gift from its friends organization, Circus World Museum Incorporated. The wagon was once a small animal cage wagon that was converted to feature an air Calliope inside, played today by Circus World musician Larry Stout. For nearly 60 years, 4 generations of the Deppy family, and we need to recognize them because their vehicle is pulling this wagon today, have been instrumental in the founding, transportation, and growth of Circus World. David Deppy is a longtime supporter of Circus World, dating back to when he and his late father, Wilbur Deppy, arranged transportation for antique circus wagons from all over the U.S. to Baraboo, as Circus World was amassing its world-renowned collection. Did you know that the Deppys also operated their own circus from 1961 through 1965?
Speaking of beautiful wagons here coming into view,
That's
is the
right.
gilded Barnum and Bailey old woman who lives in a shoe pony float.
That's
Look
right.
at that.
This wagon just came out of Circus World Museum's wagon shop, all gilded, and riding as the so-called old woman in the shoe is really not an old woman. That's Barb Hannon Romberg, a Baraboo native who also worked with Ringling Brothers and Barnum and Bailey Circus, so it's perfect as a Baraboo native with circus roots that Barb would be riding today as the quote-unquote old woman in the shoe. That's a spectacular wagon.
Following close behind is certainly a clown car indeed. We welcome Hugs, Melody, and Windy Lindy riding in a 1966 Ford Fairline convertible courtesy of Ike Andrews of Baraboo. Hugs comes to us from La Crosse, Wisconsin. Melody from Muskego, Wisconsin, and Windy Lindy from Milwaukee. Those fun-loving clowns are certainly a treat for children of all ages.
And it looks from, as we're viewing them now on camera from up above here, we can see they look very comfortable riding in that wagon. They are in style. And here we see Ben Biken, the official ambassador from the Sparta Area Chamber of Commerce in Sparta, Wisconsin, which is considered the bicycling capital of America. Ben is riding an antique-style penny farthing bicycle. He was there a moment ago.
Here he comes
Where did
again.
he go? Where did he go? There he is.
Sparta is the first community to have a rails to trail bike path. That's why they're so renowned across the country, because they were the first one to take a abandoned rail line and turn it into a bike path.
Absolutely.
Right behind that entry is the next one that comes from the World Craniofacial Foundation, a nonprofit organization dedicated to helping individuals with facial differences lead normal lives through research, education, emotional support programs, as well as programs that provide financial support to further research, evaluation, and training. 2 concerts featuring country singer Jimmy Fortune is going to be taking place at the Ho-Chunk Gaming Wisconsin Dells location in Baraboo, and that's going to be on September 29th to benefit the World Craniofacial Foundation.
Yeah, and there you can see the banner advertising that special event. And I like their circusy theme there. And speaking of circus theme, this spectacular wagon was built by the Golmar Brothers Circus in their Baraboo winter quarters in 1903. As Ralph was saying just a few moments ago, the Golmar Brothers were cousins of the Ringling Brothers. The Golmar Brothers mirror bandwagon was used as the show's lead bandwagon until 1916. Today it's preserved at Circus World, and instead of a band riding on top, we see some of the 2018 cast of Circus World's Big Top Circus performance, paying tribute to the 60th anniversary of the opening of Circus World on July 1st, 1959, with a 50s themed doo-wop Big Top Circus performance. The wagon is pulled today by 4 Percherons, the official draft horse of the American Circus, owned by Ken Keister of Scales Mound, Illinois. Ken has been in every circus parade associated with Circus World since 1969.
That's quite the accomplishment. Wow, that's incredible. We saw Steve and Ryan on there. They, of course, helped us open the show with a little skit. Got our camera a little dirty.
And we also see some members of the Wisconsin Morgan Horse Club coming into view. They come to all of our parades every single year. They are award-winning, and they are beautiful.
Following up behind that, it's a fun and circusy entry from our local University of Wisconsin campus in Baraboo. A truck courtesy of Glacier Valley Ford is pulling a float created to look like an old-time circus wagon, announcing the amazing mental feats. And there is, you see Pioneer Pete out there anywhere, the mascot?
I'm not
We weren't quite sure if he was going to be able to make it or not, so we don't quite see him out there, but you do see the new logo there for UW-Platteville and UW-Baraboo-Sauk County as they have merged, and you can see that as evidenced by that new logo and the name.
And that the way they decorated their wagon is so cute, and I love that they say amazing mental feats.
Yes.
That is so good. That's very colorful. That's very fun. What a great parade we are having today. I can't believe that we are just a little better than halfway through this parade already. It's unbelievable.
Totally flying through.
Here we see a banner for the Baraboo Public Library, and following close behind is their entry, which celebrates its popular 1,000 Books Before Kindergarten program. The letters and numbers forming 1,000 books are being propelled down the street by an electric motored rickshaw. This lively entry features some of the graduates from the 1,000 Books program, along with staff and volunteers from the library, some even marching with their homemade musical instruments performance and dressed as clowns and other circus performers.
We've had some of those homemade musical instruments in the studio not too long ago, about a month ago. Oh my, it's amazing the sounds that those things are able to produce. You see some of them playing them right now. That youngster there in the front, that's just like a shipping tube of some form with just a little straw in there. But when you put it in there in the right angle and you add the right things to the end, it makes incredible sounds.
The Baraboo Public Library offers so many wonderful programs and services. That is really a jewel of our community, and today we celebrate with them their 1,000 Books Before Kindergarten program. We're getting some more musical entertainment.
Yes, we are. As we see them working by, I want to remind everybody that when it comes to finding the perfect gift, Sophie's Fine Jewelry in Baraboo doesn't clown around. You can find an amazing selection of brilliant diamonds, gorgeous gems, fine crystal, and unique gifts for any occasion, and that's located at Sophie's Fine Jewelry and Gifts here in Baraboo. Visit them at Sophie's Fine Jewelries and Gifts.com, and then you can stop in and see Joyce at Sophie's in the Baraboo Mini Mall right across from O'Reilly's.
And now coming into view is the Habitat for Humanity of the Wisconsin River area and its Baraboo Restore. They bring to us a circus-inspired parade unit complete with construction-themed clowns and jugglers. Habitat for Humanity does great work creating affordable housing in partnership with those in need. The organization operates a Restore on South Boulevard in Baraboo.
And right there is the banner for the Granary. They are another great sponsor, a major sponsor for the parade. So thank you again to the Granary.
Again, what a superb day it is here in downtown Baraboo. I can think of every circus word possible. Here we're seeing some young equestrians coming into view. They are looking so beautiful. One of them is even dressed like a unicorn. If you saw, the horse looked like a unicorn. Clorinda Yerish, A.B. Bartel, Priscilla Yerish, Miranda Weitzel, and Melanie Weitzel are young equestrians. And we see coming into view the Whistles on Wheels.
Yes, they've
the
got a
Whistles on Wheels is driven by Aaron Henning from Greenfield, Wisconsin. Aaron Henning's grandfather was Robert L. Parkinson, for whom the library at Circus World Museum is named.
Did not know that. For educational and entertaining here. I love it. And this circus train you see here, it's arriving into town. It's a colorful and fun train that is presented by Bob and Gretchen Rolchin of Baraboo. Bob has built that train with 5 of the little wagon cars 3 years ago to pull their grandchildren around with a lawnmower. It has evolved into this parade unit of 6 cars, a lawn tractor, converted into a locomotive train engine, and members of the Rolchin family and their friends. Abby was riding back there, as well as Stella, Layla, and then Benjamin, Quinn, and Logan, all passengers on the train and all aboard for some colossal circus fun.
And here we see an entry from Wisconsin Ghostbusters.
Who are you going to call?
That's right, who are you going to call? It's a nonprofit organization comprised of enthusiasts for the movie Ghostbusters. The group raises funds for charitable organizations throughout their appearances and donations. And walking along with their green Jeep are some honest-to-goodness Ghostbusters.
Trying to do some music in the
people are
background.
loving
Sorry.
it.
They are. I just heard them.
I know. That was great to have your music
You're
there.
welcome. Thank you. That's what I do.
Here we see the Sauk County Arts and Humanities banner. This is recognizing the Sauk County UW Extension Arts and Culture Committee for their generous support of the parade. Their grant was made possible by the Wisconsin Arts Board with funds from the state of Wisconsin and the National Endowment for the Arts.
This is one I normally let you take, so we'll go ahead.
Gosh. After my own heart here, it's the Ringling Brothers Snake Den featuring some serpentine charmers, courtesy of Mike and Anita Janacek of Reedsburg and their real live snakes.
It's also the one where I jump on the other side of you and hide underneath the desk.
That's right. That's how it goes. And if they need somebody else to hold a snake, hey, I'm there.
There you go.
The Snake Den was built in 1903 for the Ringling Brothers and was used in their parades until 1910. The wagon is being pulled by a Caterpillar tractor, a Fabic cat that came to us today.
And we've got Bug Tussle Wireless coming up behind them. And had those young questions go by. This is Buford Bug and some of his friends from Bug Tussle Wireless are clowning around with us. What fun.
And then we have a sponsor banner from Terrytown Plumbing, again thanking them for their major sponsorship for this event. And then more music,
More
Mike.
great music. Yes, it's a forward marching band. Some one-of-kind merriment comes our way. It's a colorful group featuring uniforms and instruments of all kinds. Was formed in 2011 in Madison, Wisconsin as an adult musical ensemble. Since then, they've gained some tremendous popularity for fun-loving entertainment. Let's take a listen.
are family.
There you go. Sing along, Carrie.
If you were going to sing the Ghostbusters song, then I have to go with this one.
I'm in.
These guys are such fun. They are just a riot. No wonder they're popular all throughout South Central Wisconsin. They are popular in this parade, that's for sure. The Forward Marching Band from Madison.
QTI follows up right behind them. That is a great entry from QTI in Baraboo. If you need help finding a career that is right for you, connect with the QTI group. QTI reminds everyone to quit clowning around with your job search and call them today.
You know, I'm going to be hearing "We Are Family" now in my head all day long. Yep. You know how a song gets stuck in your head? Well, that's a fun one.
Looks like Oliver Motors here.
Yeah, we do indeed have a couple of entries here that come from Oliver Motors. They're located on South Boulevard in Baraboo. They offer a wide range of pre-owned vehicles from late model to low model options to budget choices. Here we see some of their pre-owned vehicles, a 2008 Chevrolet Avalanche LT, a 2003 Porsche Boxster, and we're also seeing, I believe, a 1950 Ford F100 truck. And it looks like they've even got Santa. So it's a Christmas in July special they have going on at Oliver Motors right now.
Love it. There they are. And right behind that is the International Crane Foundation. Their whooping crane is hanging out. It's the whooping crane tracking van. You'll see that off in the distance coming up here. Then they also, of course, have their mascot there hanging out in the car. As it looks like they have found a whooping crane right in front of us at our parade. The International Crane Foundation, located just north of Baraboo, invites you to meet Hope. That is their larger-than-life whooping crane mascot who travels the U.S. as an ambassador for her endangered species. Hope was created by the Jim Henson Creator Group or the Shop of New York City, and some might say she's related to Big Bird from Sesame Street in that way. Whooping cranes are North America's tallest bird and one of the rarest bird species in the world, with only 550 remaining in the wild.
Here we have an entry from Rocky and Rusty's Redemption Rescue from Laval, Wisconsin. Rocky and Rusty's Redemption Rescue is a dog and puppy rescue nonprofit saving, as they say, one wag at a time.
You didn't tell me there'd be this many puppies.
I know. That's why I thought I'll read this one so you can watch all of the puppies go by.
Yes.
I bet you are. Oh, and look at, there's some more coming. Oh, look at even some little people who look like little puppies. Look at that. Oh, that's so cute.
Wow. I think I have a winner. If I was a judge, that'd be it.
You
just send everyone else home. I meet the dogs.
I know. Being a judge has got to be so hard, and they have to pick out a best commercial, a best nonprofit, and a best youth entry, and make those decisions by the end of the parade today. Wow, that's a big job for our celebrity judges, but they're up to it.
I think we have a very, very famous celebrity on his way.
I think we do too. We are pleased to have Al Ringling, one of the 5 original Ringling brothers who began their circus in Baraboo in 1884, with us today.
He looks great for how old he is.
That's what I was thinking. The elixir of life there. Riding in a carriage originally owned by Mr. Ringling himself, we see Bryant Hazard of Baraboo, who bears a striking resemblance to the circus impresario and philanthropist. The one-horse carriage, which is preserved at Circus World, is being pulled by one Percheron horse, driven by Connor Steiner of Wazeeka, Wisconsin. There you can see Bryant Hazard.
Wow.
And he looks so much like Al Ringling.
Unbelievable.
Absolutely.
We had our largest entry a little bit ago with the elephants. Now this might be our tallest entry. And this is, of course, one of the residents of Timbavati Wildlife Park in Wisconsin Dells. For some years, Circus World recreated the Ringling Brothers giraffe wagon from a 1894 photograph. The wagon is fitted comfortably for its very tall rider and its handler, Matt Schobel from Timbavati Wildlife Park. The wagon is being pulled by 4 Percherons, once again owned by Kim Steiner.
Wow, look at that.
That
is... he's looking right at you.
I think it looked like that, yes.
Look at it, he's looking right at you.
And the wind's picking up at the exact same time.
Absolutely. Oh my gosh, yeah. Oh, and then you get to see that bird's eye view from overhead. Isn't that nice? That is spectacular camera work there. Gang from Max 99.7 WRPQ, yay, Retro TV. And now coming into view, we have a colorful entry from the Red Shed Garden and Gifts and First Choice Staffing Solutions, a family-owned and operated business that until recently was known as Midwest Labor. They do such a fabulous job with their entries in every parade. This unit is sure to make everyone want to dance. We see a 1950s style jukebox, some patio seating, and even some vintage reclaimed coolers. They're all ready for some grilling and chilling at this rolling retro dance party. And speaking of dance party,
let's listen in here as the Echoes of Camp Randall joins us once again.
There are about 20 band members. They perform in what is traditionally known as the fifth quarter music. And what fun it is to have them, to get into that UW Wisconsin spirit.
When you say Wisconsin, you said it all, and that is also following up. There it is indeed Bucky, who jumped into our broadcast once again. This time he didn't take our microphones, which was nice. He did wipe off my head, though. I was a little sweaty, and he was able to wipe. Nice. It worked out perfect. It was great. So this time he helped me. So we're back on speaking terms now, even though he doesn't speak. I don't know how that works. But he is here, of course, to help us celebrate today, and he's riding in a truck courtesy of Scott and Nancy Cafflish. Go Badgers.
And here we see the Ringley Brothers cage wagon, and inside are two kangaroos, courtesy of Timbavati Wildlife Park in Wisconsin Dells. The wagon was built in 1910 by the Muller Wagon Works of Baraboo. The four music-inspired figures on the corners of the wagon, which came from a circus wagon once owned by P.T. Barnum, are believed to have been carved as far back as 1876. That wagon is being pulled by a team of two Belgians driven by Dillian Kruger of Toma, Wisconsin. Wow, and you get to see that view from up above again. What a beautiful wagon, and again with all of those American flags on it, you really feel that Americana sense when you see a parade.
Absolutely. And following that up, we've got Cobusson.
That's right. Keeping with the 1950s theme of this year's parade, we see a 1951 school bus from Cobusson Buses in Baraboo. In business since 1938, Cobusson offers an impressive fleet of school buses that are used in many communities, including the Baraboo School District. Cobusson also provides charter bus, motor coach, school bus, and van transportation for large and small groups to anywhere in North America. And there you get to see that cute little yellow bus again. I think they call that one Goldie, I believe. Well, this is such a superb day here in Baraboo. Again, the crowd is huge and people are just having such a great time. Immediately following the parade today, you have a chance to go down to Circus World and take in the big top shows at 1 and 3:30 and other programming for only $5
Just
per
$5
person.
entry, unreal.
And you can also stay here and eat, and you can also participate in a sock hop since you have socks on. That's great. The sock hop is going to be on the courthouse lawn for 2 hours, featuring this parade grand marshals, the Elusive Sounds. Here's a view of Eat Street. You can see all of the great food that's going on there. And now, look who we have coming into view.
The Solar Sound Marching Band of St. Cloud, Minnesota, making their way over from our the great state to the west of us, and representing the nonprofits St. Cloud All City Organization. The group combines their talents of students in grades 7 through 12 from multiple St. Cloud and other area school districts. The group has appeared in parades and at competitions and festivals from coast to coast: Seattle, Los Angeles, Washington, D.C., and Philadelphia. Let's listen in as they make their way.
So Mike, you're from Minnesota.
I absolutely am,
So are you
yes.
from the St. Cloud area?
No, I'm actually from the southern part of the state, so down by Mankato. So we're kind of, yes, St. Cloud is, and Mankato, it's like split right in the middle there is where the Twin Cities are at. So, yep, that's kind of geography of it a little bit.
But they're still from your home
They are
state.
They definitely are, yes. I have a lot of friends up from that area as well.
First time in our parade.
I know,
so
it's
that's
wonderful.
Really neat.
And they've been everywhere from the looks of it, so that's wonderful. From Seattle, Los Angeles, now they're going to have to put Baraboo on that list.
That's right.
When they're doing parades in Seattle and Los Angeles, I expect them to have Baraboo listed on their parade
Exactly.
listings.
You know, Washington, D.C.,
Yes.
Baraboo.
They go
Los
hand in hand.
Angeles.
Yes,
You know,
absolutely.
we're right in between.
And starting to make their way into the camera. Actually, got some juggling happen right here. Who's juggling here in front of us? There we go.
There we go. We have two jugglers from Just Because from Columbus, Wisconsin. Watch them pass and exchange juggling balls between the two of them with lightning speed and precision. I am impressed. Not only to be juggling, but then to be walking along. And here they're doing like a little demonstration for us. That's great. Look at them. Oh, my gosh.
That's not just balls. Those are water balloons.
Oh, yes,
it looks
that's
like.
right.
It certainly looks like that.
They
so
are.
If,
They
so
are
if
balloons.
they fall, it's going to make a mess. Or if they wanted to prank one or the other, they could just throw one at their face.
But
I
you
don't
know, it's a nice warm day. It probably would feel good.
You're exactly right. We were worried about it a little bit.
Yeah, they looked like yellow balls, but you're right. They're balloons.
Oh.
Up. And here we see the Baraboo Bookmobile represented. The Baraboo Bookmobile is the idea of award-winning Baraboo School District teacher Jory Ruff, who has made it a personal mission to furnish as many Baraboo area residents as possible, especially children, with free books. Using her personal vehicle, she makes multiple stops each week to deliver free books to children, teens, and adults in an effort to encourage a lifelong interest in reading. Since its inception, the Baraboo Bookmobile has distributed 1,000 or more books to youth, children, and adults. They were even handing out some free books here in the crowd. That was really cool.
That is great. And there you see another banner of one of our fantastic sponsors. This one is for Teal Plastics, a major sponsor of today's parade. A couple more Baraboo Thunderbird football players there as they were nice enough to donate their time here today and help volunteer to hang on to a lot of those banners for the parade. And, of course, we'll have coverage of the Baraboo Thunderbird football team as they get started here. Hard to believe, but it's just about a few weeks away. The first football game of the season is going to be August 17th.
Oh, my
just
gosh.
around the corner.
The summer is going by too quickly.
Football's back.
Oh, heavens. Now, here we see some members of the Free State Clown Alley and the John Ringling North II, Steve and Ryan, Circus Fans Association of America tent number 178 from Baltimore, Maryland. Say that really fast 3
Go
times,
for it.
okay? The Free State Clown Alley was formed in 1972 to place smiles on the faces of young and old. This diverse group performs in classic American tented circuses as they travel through Maryland, as well as at hospitals, schools, corporate settings, and at private parties. The trio is in town this weekend to visit Circus World clowns Steve Copeland and Ryan Combs, who, if you were watching our pre-parade show, got a chance to see them at the very beginning of the program. And if you didn't get a chance to see it, you can see it again because it will be on the station's YouTube channel,
Absolutely.
right?
And our Facebook
Facebook
page.
page.
Yes.
So
And they owe us a new camera. I'm just saying that right now. Did you see what they did to our camera?
I did.
Well, that doesn't clean out very well. I'm just saying, that camera is in big trouble.
It's just a pie,
I know,
right?
but...
And here we see a 1950s inspired entry from Great Day Brokers, shaking, rattling, and rolling down the street. Catch this cool gal in her poodle skirt in the vintage car.
Wonderful. There they
Oh,
are.
aren't they fun? That's a Ford Mustang convertible there. Wow, wow. Look at their poodle skirts. That is so cute.
That's a rad rag top. There, I got another 50s line in there.
Gosh,
a rad
I am
rag
so
top.
impressed.
I haven't been doing much because we're kind of just having them rapid fire at us, so I'll try to get some more work in here before we get to it.
Oh my gosh, I am completely impressed.
Following up close behind our Bobo D, Silly, and Willie Lou from the Clowns Across the River. They're from, speaking of Minnesota, Minneapolis and St. Paul. This clowning group is participating in the Big Top Parade for the 5th year. These gestures of fun are frolic and provide hospital visits, also entertain at birthday parties, and are skilled at balloon sculptures, puppetry, magic, and general clowning around. And you can see they come in all forms of transportation. Some are on foot, on adult tricycles, others are on an elliptical bike, and even one in a big clown car. There it is.
And here's another circus-inspired entry. This comes from Wild Rumpus Circus in Maizomanie. We see Marcia Michelon and talented stilt-walking performers. As part of Mazo Movement Arts, the Wild Rumpus Circus operates circus skills camps and workshops for all ages. Audiences in downtown Baraboo today had the opportunity to be entertained by them right in front of our broadcast area. And then we see with them Jacob Mills, puppeteer from Wild Rumpus Circus, and his giant trout puppet. Jacob is reportedly the only stand-up trout comedian in the world. And here you see on camera those stilts. That is not easy to walk on stilts and then do it in an entire parade. And there's Jacob. There he is. The trout comedian. And oh wow, my favorite piece of music, entry of the Gladiators, also called Thunder and Blazes. This is the Ringling Brothers United States tableau from Circus World, featuring some more musicians from Professor Gerald Stitch's original Baraboo Circus Band, comprised of local musicians from this area, wind players. They are on a wagon that was built in the 1880s, that's being pulled by 6 Percherons, owned by Bob and Mary Smith of Osseo, Wisconsin. What great music.
It is so good. And trumpeting elephants and cavalcade of cavorting clowns. This colorful and fun entry following up behind that is brought to us today by the International Clown Hall of Fame and Research Center and the Boys and Girls Club of West Central Wisconsin, Baraboo, Sauk County. The International Clown Hall of Fame and Research Center is located in the historic downtown Baraboo, and it is dedicated to the preservation and advancement of clown art and achievement. The Boys and Girls Club has been serving the Baraboo community for over 18 years.
And you know, Elvis
See, we're cleaning
here.
up the camera that Steve and Ryan ruined.
We have a bunch of blimpy Elvises among that group, you know? So
keeping with the theme.
I think
we got some music going too.
Got some music happening here. Oh, beautiful, beautiful. Not just one Elvis. We've got at least a dozen Elvises here today.
It's like being in Las Vegas. There's
That's right.
Elvises everywhere.
Oh yeah, here we go. We're getting our Elvis groove right now. And of course, Greg and Karen DeSanto. Greg is the executive director of the International Clown Hall of Fame and Research Center here in downtown Baraboo. His wife, Karen DeSanto, is the executive director of the Boys and Girls Club. So wow, they are having fun. And here we see, for all of you lavender lovers, an entry from the Devil's Lake Lavender Farm and Bistro in the parade for the first time. Lavender is well known as a fragrant flower, but did you know it's also an edible herb? You can enjoy the beauty of lavender through tours and special events at the Devil's Lake Lavender Farm on State Highway 136, just outside of Baraboo, and get a taste of lavender and so much more at the Devil's Lake Bistro right here on the square in downtown Baraboo. Today, their entry features a pink and purple piggy food truck, a purple people mover, and a pink and purple piggy VW bug with purple eyelashes.
Well done.
Wow, that was a lot of alliteration there. They are smoking, rattling, and rolling with all kinds of barbecue weekends at their farm this summer. The first one is going to be on Saturday, July 28th. That's next Saturday from 5 to 7.
And after that is a banner for SSM Health. They are another one of our major parade sponsors. And I also want to remind you from another one of our sponsors that when it comes to finding the perfect gift, you can head to Sophie's Fine Jewelry and Gifts. They've gone through the painstaking and can go through the painstaking ability to restore some of their beauty that your jewelry pieces may have had and go through the restoration and repair process. You need to check out Sophie's Fine Jewelry and Gifts in Baraboo. Whether it's repairing the watch that was handed down to you or securing a loose stone in a treasured ring, Sophie's Fine Jewelry in Baraboo can restore it. Please visit sophiesfinejewelryandgifts.com.
And speaking of beauty, here is the beautiful Barnum & Bailey Golden Age of Chivalry wagon built in 1903 for the Barnum & Bailey Circus. Riding on top as Lady Guinevere is Dee Marshall, from the president of Downtown Baraboo Incorporated. She's accompanied by Wesley Williams, Circus World's very own unicycling wonder, and Dylan Badricki, who handles production for Circus World. They are Lady Guinevere's guards. That wagon was pulled by 4 Percherons driven by Kyle Dudek of Helenville, Wisconsin. And
more Calliope sounds.
Oh my gosh, that means we're getting toward the end
know,
of the parade.
it's unbelievable.
Oh my gosh, here we are hearing David Salutis, Circus World's performance and marketing director and singing ringmaster, celebrating his 35th year at Circus World. He's playing the Cole Brothers America Steam Calliope. Bernie Hotzel of Baraboo is the boiler technician in the wagon. This very heavy wagon filled with water to fuel the Calliope is pulled by a hitch of 8 mighty Clydesdales owned by Merle Brooks of Wanawak, Wisconsin. There is tremendous pressure when you're playing a wagon like that, an air Calliope rather like that, so that takes a lot of muscle in your fingers.
And the bubble buggy is following right behind as they're the piper of the parade was the Calliope, and then drawing the crowd to the circus performance. Today's Calliope wagon is followed by yet another attention-grabbing vehicle. That is the bubble buggy, and it is raining bubbles out. As you can see, Tim Howell of Bloomfield, Iowa. Tim has a lifelong involvement with the circus, having handled elephants and bears and performing on the high wire.
Wow, this has been a spectacular parade lasting almost an hour and a half.
Ladder 1, the aerial platform truck, making its way into our view here from high atop the Baraboo State Bank. The blast of the horns. It is coming down the street here to mark the conclusion of the 6th annual Big Top Parade and Circus Celebration. We want to thank, of course, the Baraboo Police Department and the Fire Department, Baraboo EMS for all their assistance in today's parade. So much goes in, not only to the planning process, but also making sure it's all done in a safe manner. So that is great to see them making their way through. Here are the street cleaners as well, because as you know, some of those circus animals make a mess of things when they go through.
That's right, they leave a little something behind.
Absolutely. So, what do you guys think of the parade again?
Great parade, couldn't be better day, you know, beautiful weather, nice breeze, not too hot, humidity's not there, so it was couldn't be a more perfect day for parade.
A spectacular family event for everyone. We see people of all ages, children of all ages here on the street. It has been a wonderful parade today. What fun it's been and how fast it went. Even though it was an hour and a half and over 90 entries in the parade, it seemed to just fly by. And this is always fun working with both of you. I look forward to it every summer. I can't believe it's our 6th annual Big Top Parade, and that we have the opportunity to be able to see it from this fantastic vantage point, which we should mention is a wagon from Circus World. This is a stringer wagon, which provides us with a great stage to see everything coming down the street. And we're in the shade. It just couldn't be better than it is.
Doesn't get any better.
Well, Carrie and Ralph, I want to thank you so much for joining me this year.
Thank you much.
Such a pleasure. It's always fun.
And there's a certain way we always have to end every broadcast. It's a way you end the circus, so go ahead and lead us in it.
May all your days be circus days.
This has been coverage of the annual Big Top Parade and Circus Celebration, live from downtown Baraboo, Wisconsin. Our lead sponsor was the Baraboo State Bank. For over 160 years, Baraboo State Bank has been providing financial services with a hometown touch to local families and businesses. Member FDIC, equal housing lender. Our broadcast also graciously supported by McGann Furniture, Poynton Heating and Air Conditioning, The Granary, MBE CPAs, Domino's of Baraboo, WCCU Credit Union, SSM Health, Baraboo Motors, Baraboo Pizza Ranch, Bank of Wisconsin Dells, and Johnson Insurance. Thank you for joining us, and may all your days be circus days.